Hey everybody, how are you doing? I try to do something different. I have a little intro now, and so hope everybody's Monday is well. I hope your week went well and you had a great day today. No stress, no worries, just all good. Hey Shay, thank you for coming in. Happy Monday. Hope everything is well. I asked you, what did you get from Princess for your gift, for your prize? You didn't let me know what you got. I'm curious, what you got for your prize. Um, if anybody knows, she won a prize, and she won a prize when we had Sarah from Princess Cruises on, and so she won a prize by answering your question. So I'm just curious to see. Thanks, Shay. Thank you. Liz from Carnival Cruise Addicts helped me to put all of it together, like to show me how to add an intro. Oh, you emailed me. Okay, so I'll just make sure I'll look into that a little later and look at the email. And so I'm just here today because I was away late last week. I was actually getting back into town, and I was getting back into town for that 3 day weekend cruise aboard Carnival Conquest. And so, therefore, since I am back, I got back, and it was just like, I know I could not do a live. By the time I got back home, there was no way I was going to be able to do a live. And then that night, trying to do the content, trying to edit the videos that came out um, last week, and so I was just like busy trying to edit and everything of that nature. So that's good. Oh, bathrobe with a mug. Oh, no, I love Princess bathrobes. I love their bathrobes. If you ever go on Princess, they have it in there, and they're very comfortable. And so I think one time I wanted to buy one, but I didn't get one. So anybody coming in, I see people coming in. Just let me know you're here in the chat. Let me know that you're here. If you're coming in now or in the replay, make sure you like, comment, um, and share this because we are going to be talking about Carnival Conquest. Anybody has any questions? Getting some noise in the background. In my background? You hearing noise in my background? If you're getting noise, are you getting noise in my background? I think it's because I have this fan on. I have this fan on. I was trying to, but I guess it's picking up in the mic. That's what the reason is. Hey Keisha, thank you for coming through. How is everything? Happy Monday. Happy Monday, Keisha. Hope all is well with you. Can you hear any more noise in the background? I'm just trying to make sure if you hear anything being picked up. Keisha saying hi to Shay. Okay, that was it. Okay, all is good. Okay, good. Glad you're good. So I'm just gonna start, and so I'm gonna let everybody know first of all before we go into Celebration Key about Carnival Conquest. And so Carnival Conquest kind of has a special place in my heart. Um, hey, hey Max, that's my sister. Thanks for coming through the live. Carnival Conquest has a special place in my heart because of the fact that on Carnival Conquest I met Veronica Life with V, and Life with V. I was talking to her, and over time, she just more or less said, "Why don't you decide to start vlogging?" And I didn't. I My channel was more or less about reviews before. I was not trying to vlog, and then when I started vlogging, I just kind of felt kind of insecure. I don't know if anybody started vlogging and kind of had that feeling of insecurity of people looking at you, and so therefore, when I started vlogging, I was just like, I don't know, like insecure. It's easy to do a room review when nobody's looking, but then now you're taking the camera and it's almost like you're talking to yourself and you're walking around. And so therefore, and also it was a learning curve as well. And so therefore, Carnival Conquest, I met Life with V. And so therefore, it kind of started my journey of vlogging on my channel where it did not happen before. Just having those conversations. So shout out to Veronica from Life with V with Carnival Conquest. And so that's why And then I met two other people, two other single individuals there on the cruise ship along with me. So Carnival Conquest in itself kind of has a special place in me. It's not the biggest ship, it's not my favorite ship at all. But I'd remember things of that nature, pivotal times in your life that kind of change how things are going forward. And so I enjoyed the cruise in general. And at the end of the day, it was a 3 day cruise then, as it was this past last weekend. It was a 3 day cruise, and so therefore I enjoyed it. You know, the cruise directors are really pivotal on Carnival. I know some people say, well, I don't even know who the cruise director was. If you want to engage in the fun, Carnival is about having these cruise directors that will orchestrate the fun and allow you to have a great time. And so Carnival Conquest, for this Celebration Key cruise, it was supposed to be, let me put it out there. It was supposed to be the first cruise going to Celebration Key, but what happened is they added Vista before it, and so Vista ended up being the first cruise to go to Celebration Key, and then literally they were there the day before we were. So Vista got there Saturday, Celebration Key, and then Conquest got there Sunday. So we were the second ship, and so when we got in there, we were the second ship to ever set sail or get ported at Celebration Key. And so we were the second set of passengers for Carnival to ever be at Celebration Key. And we were the only cruise ship there, just like Vista was the only cruise ship there. And so, therefore, before I go on, let's see who else is in the chat. Amelia, hey, Amelia, happy Monday. Thank you for coming through. Hey, Sig, I wish you was there, Sig. I thought you would have came through to wanted for to see Celebration Key, and I'm getting ready to let you know about the whole experience and everybody I met, and all of the things that I loved with Celebration Key. There, as people are saying hi, and so oh yes, I was insecure at first and still a little shy about filming, but I do it to get the content exactly. So Sig knows what I'm talking about. At first I was very shy and I always felt like people were looking at me, and even like, you know, when and there was a time even like I forgot when it was last year. Like I was at the table and I was talking to myself and I was running a few and people was looking at me, and literally somebody came over to me and was like, "Oh, are you a content creator?" It's like, "Yes." Like, you know, and so, like, when they look, it kind of makes me feel insecure because it's like they're almost staring, like I'm an oddball individual. But you know, after a while, you kind of get through it or kind of get over it. You know, to know that that's what it is. There's still probably certain places I may not. For example, I started doing It's kind of like awesome. It's not voiceovers technically because I record a video and then do have my experience of, for example, me eating food. And so I may be in an area and I'll say how the food looks, for example, but people are around, you know, so it kind of gets like, you know, too much people are talking, so therefore, you know, voiceovers come in handy when it comes into those situations. But I'll still have where I'm taking a picture of the food and then going forward from there. And so we're doing hugs. That's good. I think this is very common feeling when it comes to vlogging. Exactly. And I guess, you know what the thing about it is, people probably don't even realize that I'm still considered myself to be like an introvert, and people don't think about it. I could be a fly on the wall and I'll be fine being a fly on the wall. I think that's the reason why some solo cruising is can be like simple for me, because of the fact that, you know, I'm more or less an introvert. I don't need to necessarily always, you know, there's people who always need to have somebody come with them, or they can't go anywhere by themselves. They can't go to the movies. They can't go to the to a restaurant. They can't go really anywhere by themselves. And so I think because of that, and so therefore, if I'm an introvert and then all of a sudden I'm vlogging and then I'm having attention on myself, then it's like, oh man. And so I kind of have to try to block it out as much as I can. Michelle, you have grown amazingly with your vlogs and live streams. I love watching your journey. Yes, exactly. See, you see how great. That's awesome. That was a great compliment. Sig is great. Everybody's saying hi to Sig. Love your work. Awesome. You come in here and getting compliments, Cheryl. Don't you feel good? That's great. She's awesome. And so therefore, so that's why Carnival Conquest had a special place in my heart. Let me tell you about Carnival Conquest. Let me tell you about the vibes. You know, everybody's, and I mentioned, and I had like a short video about it. So I had a little bit of notes because I'm trying to make sure that I am organized in my thoughts. And so let me tell you about it. Everybody's talking about the vibes are not there for Carnival. They're saying that maybe they're missing out on the fun, that Carnival is not the same. I know that all of the talk about the rewards program, and I know all the talk about the rewards program, the loyalty program, but at the end of the day, did I have fun at the embarkation day? I did. Did were they dancing, and were they bringing the crowd together, and were we dancing on the Lido deck for embarkation day? I did. Did we hear? And so so in talking to, I overheard a conversation to the DJ, and more or less the DJ was saying that, we try to change up the playlist. So they had a plethora of music. They had um, hip hop. They had R&B. They had Latin music. So they had a plethora of music. I didn't hear YMCA. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe like they played YMCA so much that maybe they're changing the playlist of doing YMCA all the time. I didn't hear the wobble, but then they did boots on the ground throughout the cruise. What I was surprised, and maybe I'm mistaken, what I was kind of surprised about is I was expecting a Lido deck party the last night of the cruise, and usually I thought that Carnival usually does a Lido deck party the last night of the cruise, so they did not have that. I was expecting that, so it kind of gave me a chance to kind of like, because the last night of the cruise, the last day was Celebration Key, and I spent all day out there vlogging, and so I enjoyed myself, but it was hot. And so I just gave me a chance to just kind of relax the last night of the cruise, pack, and get ready to get off the ship. And so how was the cruise director? Cruise director was Robbie. Never had him before. He was really energetic. It would be somebody that if I saw him on a schedule as a cruise director, um, to be honest, has there been anybody that you've had? To be honest, you could even name them. You remember them. Is there anybody that, for example, you've had them as a cruise director and it was just like never again? Okay, if I see them on a list, I do not want to see do that. So let me see. Thanks to you, Paul. It seems a little easier for me when I'm wearing headphones. I don't know why. Okay. Headphones when you're do I do that when I'm recording? When I like when you're vlogging, you're talking about, Shay? Uh, Conquest is the little ship that could it just keeps on giving. It just keeps on giving. And so let me tell you about my experience. I met so many people on this cruise. It was so amazing. Before I went there, I don't know if you follow the traveling type. I was asking the traveling type because they I saw that they were shipmate. I don't know if everybody goes on shipmate. Um, when blogging. Okay, yes. Okay, that's cool. Well, I'm glad I could help you out. And so I saw that they were going on this cruise, and so I reached out to them and said, "Oh, I see that you're going on the cruise." And they said yes. And they said that, "Oh, we're going to do a meet up." And so they said, "Oh, that's good. We're going to do a vloggers meetup during the cruise." And we did that the second day of the cruise around 3 o'clock in the sports bar. And so she said, and they said that Carl, see, it was C was going to be the one that was going to be sharing or was organizing it. So Carlene hit me up and said, "Hey, I heard that you're going on a cruise," and then she gave me the information through Instagram. And so, therefore, who did I meet? Let me tell you. Who did I meet? I felt like it was almost like a group cruise or almost like a content creators cruise because the fact of all of the people that I met there, and it was so great to meet them. First of all, Rockwell from MH Family Adventures. And I met Rockwell for the first time on Sun Princess, just like I did Sig. I met her the first time also on Sun Princess. She actually introduced me to Rockwell, and she was there with her daughter, and so that was great. I met Mick the Suit Guy. I don't know if you follow him, but he always has these like really creative suits, and so he was a blast. I'm glad I met him. Carlene, as first time seeing her, see it with C. The traveling type was there as well. So the traveling type was there. I met them. I saw them on Celebration when I went on Celebration, whenever that was. But I never had a chance to talk to them, and so this time I was able to talk with them. Your favorite couple, Shelton and Key, I met them for the first time. Phil and Dee. I met them for the first time, and so therefore met a lot of individuals. And when I tell you, it was so great to have that community, to be able to meet up with them, and so therefore it was just like great vibes. And so there's more that we met officially at one time in the sports bar, but outside of the sports bar, we also kind of met up, or we would see each other vlogging on the ship or what have you. And all of them released content last week, and I released content. I released 2 videos. I'm not sure if you had a chance to see those, but we're gonna get into that later. And Sharon at Sea was there. So Sharon at Sea, I went up to Jamie and talked to him. He remembered my face from a previous cruise because I've seen him on 2 cruises. Sharon at Sea, I saw the last time I saw both of them, the couple, I saw them on Sun Princess and Midships. Do you know Corey from Midships? Corey from Midships is, when I tell you, the nicest guy. Yeah, it's so good to be able to meet content creators and they're just nice people. He was just the nicest guy I could ever meet. It was just so great meeting him. And so therefore I have a Nightbot now, and so therefore just put hashtag PMB to share your link. If you come out, I know I do this usually near the end, but if you came out with something throughout the course of this week, I know that Shay is doing We Out Here July. Just kind of put your the hashtag PMB, and then your link should show up. And so therefore, let me see who's in the vlog. Cam Fam, hey Cam Fam, thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Happy Monday. And so I met all those people, and it was so great to meet all those individual people. They were nice. We literally were waiting to get off the ship. So when we got to Celebration Key, we were just waiting to get off the ship. Everybody had their cameras ready. And so as soon as they said, yes, you're ready to get off the ship, boom, we was running off the ship. And if you see some of our videos, because a lot of us did tours, you will see kind of like a little cameo of, like, I was in Rockwell's video, I was in the Traveling Types video. You'll see me walking, or I caught, I think, the Traveling Type, and I caught Rockwell in my video. And so you kind of just see us walking because everybody was just ready to get off the ship and just to get going. And so Celebration Key. So I'm going to ask a question before I talk about Celebration Key. What is, and so I'm probably going to put this as because I haven't done a survey in a long time on my community page. What is your favorite private island? Let's start with that. Is it Coco Cay? I know Coco Cay may be a lot of people's phrase. If is it MSC's Reserve? Is it Castaway Key? Is it Disney's Private Island? Is it maybe people love Half Moon Cay? Carnival's Half Moon Cay. Maybe they like that better. So what is everybody's private island? I'm just curious to see. Um, so Emilia says MSC. Oh, MSC. Okay. I've been to MSC. All right, all right. Who else? Who else has a private island, private destination from the cruise lines? Ocean Cay. Okay. Ocean Cay. That's the same thing as MSC, right, Shay? We loved Half Moon Cay. Okay. Half Moon Cay it is. Okay, so we have a lot. So we have like a assortment of reasons. Okay. Keisha, I've only been to Half Moon Cay and Princess Key. Both are pretty basic, but like great beach destinations. Okay. All right. Why do you like those? What is it about those islands you particularly like? Is it the beach is clean? Is it the fact, because every cruise line is different. If you go on the cruise lines, you have to know that some of these cruise lines, they do not all of them serve you. Say for example, you have to pay. They may serve you food, but you're gonna have to pay for like sodas or liquor, right? Even if you have the drink package. Is it the beach you like? So what is it about the particular place? The beach, is it, Shay? Hey, Scott, thank you for coming through. Scotty's here. How you doing, bro? Um, Hello to all driving home. Okay, be safe, brother, when you're driving. Um, Tranquility and the ability to connect with nature. Okay, you know what? I've been to MSC only one time, their private island, and The one thing, well, I didn't do like a beach because they had umbrellas to rent, and I don't remember them having um, clamshells to rent, and I like a clamshell. And so I tried to go to an area. It was a part of the build, the island, that it had like these nice seats, and it had big umbrellas, and there was a bar there, and that would have been a nice place. But it started to get windy, and then they took the umbrellas down. I was like, and so therefore I have to give it a chance. I did like the light show that they had at night because they stayed here long when I was on that cruise ship. I did like the lighthouse show that they had, and I did capture it in one of my videos because I've been there on MSC Davina, but I definitely want to try out MSC's private island again. I remember them feeding us. I can't remember if drinks like sodas are included. One thing I like about Norwegian, they feed you, and if you have the package, that's the best thing for Norwegian. If you have the package, I mean, and Norwegian's island seems small to me, but if you have the package, the drink package, you could drink on the island just like you do on the ship. And so that's the one thing I like about Norwegian, where a lot of them don't have that like that. I like the vibe, the layout, the bars is in different locations. Okay, cool. It was very relaxing. So, so I'm the type of person to say if I go to, for example, a resort, I will do the beach, but I'm more of a pool person, right? In general, like I know some people they love the beach. They'll just run into the beach. They'll swim. They just love the beach. But I'm more of a pool person, and then I will do beach as well. But say, for example, I will go to an all-inclusive resort. Like I just came back from Jamaica in June. I went to the beach. I was even playing beach volleyball. I walked by the beach. I went into the water a little bit, but for the most of my time, I was by the pool. And so I think the reason why that Celebration Key, even I did like a full review on Pearl Cove, and Pearl Cove has its hits and misses. But in general, the reason I think I like Celebration Key so much, even though this situation with not feeding you and you have a stipend, so you don't have the buffet, like you do in Half Moon Cay. And so, that would have been nice to have a buffet in Half Moon Cay because Half Moon Cay, they don't serve, even if you have the soda package, you'd have to purchase it, right? But I love the fact that I could do pool or beach. And so that almost kind of gave me like resort vibes because you have the option of both. And then, the food was there, obviously, with the stipend I just said. The drinks, well, I was in Proco, so I did kind of like a 10 drink in all inclusive was in that package. And so I like that. And so for the first time, I said it on Friday, I was on a live with your favorite couple and other content creators. For the first time ever, I've never been in a pool on a cruise ship. It's just this madness. It's always a lot of kids in these pools. So I've never been in a pool. This is the first time ever that I have been anywhere related to a cruise in a pool. And so that was at Celebration Key. Also, I forgot to say, I met Lageisha, LF McKinley. We were chilling. It was her birthday the day we went to Celebration Key. I don't see her on here now. And she stayed over for the next cruise because Rockwell from MH Family was doing a group cruise. And so that was so great to meet her in person. And I said on a live, just make sure you come up and meet, see me. Sometimes I see little pictures and things of that nature. So, in terms of the picture. So if you're somewhere and you're going to be in the ship and you see me, just come up to me. We were chilling, we were talking, we were chilling at Pearl Cove. And so it was so great to meet her as well. And so, yeah, so let me see. I like that there's no worries missing the all aboard time like other ship port stops. And both Half Moon Cay and Princess K have that included food options, soda and alcohol. Yes, exactly. So it would have been. So how was the food? So in my Proco video, so I don't know how the food was in general because they had so many up. Because with the all inclusive Pearl Cove, it was a hit. It was a miss for me, and I did the full review on my channel of the Pearl Cove, and I said like what I had, why the reasons why I didn't like something. But the next time I go, maybe I'll do the access to Pearl Cove and then try. And then in the conversation with the live I had with your favorite couple, I found out that I could have went off campus because and still gotten the stipend and use the stipend. So next time I'll try to do something else. And but maybe it was just what I had and the options that I had, you know. And so therefore that's the reason why it wasn't the best for me. But there's a lot of food options on Celebration Key. So many food options. Whether it's you're doing the food trucks, whether you're doing like a more upscale restaurant, there's a lot of food options. I don't feel you'd go hungry on Celebration Key. Your coverage was top notch and very thorough. Truly, oh, thank you so much, Amelia. I really appreciate that. I tried to give you so much in terms of even the tour I did. I tried to capture as much as I can. I'm sure there was something I missed, but I was trying to give you the essence of what was there at each part. And so even and in the review, I tried to be as thorough as possible. And in the review, that's why I had said currently, and I did screenshots because things may change, prices may change. So I did that review knowing that that is the current price as of the video. That is the current process. That is what the website is saying. So that when things change, that's how things may change, and things may change. And so we'll see. We're saying hi to each other. We're saying hi to each other. Hey Zach, thank you for coming through. Um, and so when I first got there, I had mentioned it in the video. It looked unimpressive to me. I mean, and I'm thinking why it's unimpressive. So realize Carnival that this celebration key this is only the first phase, and so I think it probably looks a little bit unimpressive because there was parts of the island, the area that you saw just kind of like emptiness. And I think, they probably dug it out and it just seemed empty. And so maybe, I guess if it had like trees around it, it would probably like make it look like more enclosed and like, oh wow, your eyes could focus on that area. So it maybe looked unimpressive. But when I got off, when I started walking, and it was hot. When I tell you, I told somebody to remind me never to do another cruise in July. I just want to end it off around my birthday, top of July, but middle of July, it's crazy. I hope they do phase two and not in July. I really do, because I would like to go back whenever they open up phase two, but it was so hot. And so I think that's the reason why that was a greater incentive now to dip into that pool. Man, and it's freshwater pool, so you didn't get up out of the water smelling like chlorine, and it was beautiful. And to be able to dip into that infinity pool, I stayed in there, I lingered in there, I got up, I went in there like twice. It was just so great. And so I think if the only thing is now, if they can, because Half Moon Cay, the one thing about Half Moon Cay, they have their fun squad on there. Now, if they can get their fun squad on there to do some stuff, like for example, like as I said, to a certain extent, this is vibes. DJs going on, even though like you may want more turn up, in other areas, but the DJ's going. But I wouldn't mind, doing like a beach volleyball game or something of that nature, and having some of those activities. And so I'm thinking hopefully maybe going forward they will begin to do some of those activities. But I think everybody just in general was just eating, chilling, relaxing. The music they said was in the calypso, which was the more adult. Hearing from Carlene, see it was C. They were saying like the music was a little bit more, a little bit more turned up than Perco, which was really just basic relaxation. You didn't rush the information and you allowed the viewers to see the prices and details, so it makes planning and future visits more efficient. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. That's what I want to do. I didn't want to say it. Just say it, and then especially some people may say, "Oh, that's not the right thing," or that's not the right price. But I just want to make it clear, even with the ages, because there's conflicting information even with like the ages with Pearl Cove. But I just want to make it clear that the information was coming from the website. And if there's, it's still new, there's still some nuances that maybe they need to work out, and some communication about something with the ages of 18 plus or 21 plus. But I appreciate that. I'm really glad that it was helpful to summer. So you are July birthday as well. I'm June, Jonathan, but I usually do something around my birthday, and maybe it will linger into the beginning of July, like July 4th, a weekend or what have you. But this big July took me out of here. I'm telling you, like It was hot in Miami. I literally thought that when once I it was hot going on the ship in embarkation day. If you saw my I did a live on embarkation day, and if you've seen it, I didn't realize it. So there was a part of the video where I turned my back, and because I had some shirts made up with Travels with PNB, but on the back is my barcode, and the color is like turquoise-ish, something like that. And so when I turned my back, later on, a friend of mine said, "Oh my God, you was hot. You was sweating." I didn't realize that it was sweating like that on the back like that. And so it was just tremendously hot. I usually do end of June, and then maybe I'll pick it up again, maybe October, November. Those are what I usually do. But it was just crazy hot in July. And so I just loved every area of it. I thought that I definitely would go back if they do phase two. I would try to do something where if I did I like that infinity pool. I'm sorry. I just love that infinity pool. It wasn't a lot of people. I would, especially if I go back and it's not like a lot of ships as well. The thing about Calypso compared to Pearl Cove is like it maxes out. I believe right now it's at 250 people. And so there's a limit of how many people can be in the Pearl Cove Beach Club. It's not unlimited. So I'm thinking as it maxes out those amount of people, that's it. It will be sold out. Whereas Calypso, it's free of charge. So you could go to Calypso, and then how many people is there is how many people is there, but it seemed like it had a lot of space. I think that's the reason why, especially they're going to do phase two and they're going to add a water park. I think it has so much space. That's the reason why um, I don't feel like they're worried that it's going to be overcrowded if they feel like they're going to make it to the point where at least four ships could come there at one time. So I'm hoping that it doesn't become overcrowded and just hectic, but it seemed like there was just walking around, it seemed like there's enough space for people to be able to get a seat. Like there was places that did not have umbrellas, but a lot of the loungers had umbrellas free of charge. Now that is a benefit. So stuff I'm saying, there's ups and downs. So yeah, they may not have food, but at least they're not charging for everything. They're not charging for umbrellas. So then you can be able to find a lounge with the umbrella, just relax right there, not having to pay for anything else. Maybe some people had issues with bees. I had some issues with bees. I had to change my seat. And when I was at Pearl Cove, whereas others said they didn't really have that much. But I heard from Carnival Cruise Addicts, they were said on their live, I believe that John Hell said that they're going to take care of the problem with the bees. I don't know what that means. I don't know if they're spraying. I just don't know how they're going to kind of lessen the bee problem. But it was kind of a nuisance, and I was trying to swat it away. I did have like a red bag, and like I had this red watch. So I don't know if red attracts it because I felt like I didn't have on any cologne. I didn't have anything sweet on. I did have sunscreen, but I don't feel like it was sweet enough for them to be attracted to me like that and be around me. So I'm thinking maybe it was the red. I'm not sure. I don't know if anybody knows if red attracts bees, but it was like they were coming around and it was just like, all right, enough is enough. So um, I know on Carnival's other private destinations, sometimes crews come out and do like volleyball games, a little dancing, but never seen the entire fun squad. I think them staying on ship is better. So I remember on Half Moon Cay, and it was like one part. Um, where was that? It was, I think, okay, Half Moon Cay. If you've been there, there's like it looks like a ship, right? It looked like it would be kind of like a shipwreck ship, but it's really a bar. And so I remember, and so therefore it's not, you really have to go to that area. And in that area, the fun squad was there, and they had some things. They set up the music right there. So therefore it would be only in that area. But if you want another part of the island, you wouldn't even be able to like to be there for that. And so I remember that. So I guess if you want to engage in it and have fun, and where the fun squad is, and I guess supposedly, I guess you could have. It must be in the app, right? Because I'm like, well, how do I know what the schedule is? I guess it must be in the app. And I guess when I'm on the island, I guess I don't pay attention to my phone and what's in the app. And so I guess, I mean, it's good to be able to have something if you want to, but if you don't want to, just just chill and relax, and and just be in your clamshells, or be in a lounge chair. Yes, phase two. Hopefully, with the water park, we'll probably open up in summer too. Okay. Oh man. Hopefully, opens up a little later. Am I am I phasing out? See, I don't know why the video is phasing out like that. You can you hear me? Can you hear me? You hear me? Uh, you hear me? Okay, you can hear me now, right? Yes, yes. Okay, good. It just seems like for whatever reason it just was I don't know, something was wrong with the camera and it was just giving me some issues. All right, let's go. We are waiting. Thank you, Shay, for waiting. Thank you for sticking in there. Yes, we can. Hey, Danny, thanks for coming through. So you could hear me. I don't know what I was saying. What was I saying last? I don't even remember what I was saying last. What was I saying last? Because anybody remember? I'm just dealing with all this issues. So what was I saying last? I don't even know if this is working. If where did you go, Danny? Were you on a cruise? About the Fun Squad. Okay. So yeah, for about the Fun Squad, and so when it came to the Fun Squad, I enjoyed them kind of being like out there and about. So the vibes of the place, I felt like if you're a family, you can go always to Starfish Lagoon. Calypso would be the adult friendly, and so in the adult friendly, you can always there's restaurants there. There's the food trucks are there. There's a DJ there. Obviously, the pool is there. Everywhere had a pool, right? Everywhere had like a beach area, so you could dip. If you watch my review, my tour, you dip your feet in the sand, and right away you go into the pool. Vice versa, it was just really nice to be able to have those two options. I think that's where they went out for me over other places because I'm not, as I said, I'm not always like a beach person, but everywhere had the freshwater pools, sandy areas. And therefore, the slides were there. If you wanted to do the slides, shopping was there, and shopping was centralized, and I kind of like that too. That shopping is just centralized in one area, so you didn't have to go, you didn't have to go looking for anything, any store. It was all centralized in one area. And so therefore, I like that as well. There was a bar that had swings, and in Calypso, and that I thought that was different. And so there was some things that was really different. I'm looking to see what the water park is, because to me that little slide that they had, that was what I was they were charging 14.99, even though it was unlimited. It wasn't as impressive, but if they're gonna do a whole water park, I'm just curious to see where that is and how it's gonna be to kind of go from one area to the next. Pearl Cove was, to me, was a little bit like off the beaten path. I had to ask somebody where it was, and so somebody was able to show me the path to go to Pearl Cove. So it was kind of like, okay, where is it? If you go specifically in an area of Calypso and you go to a certain path, then you'll be able to find it. And so I'm just curious to see where they would have the water area, and is that the only thing they're going to add onto it, or because it seems like it's a lot of area. So whether they only purchase a certain amount, but I feel like how Disney is, where I feel like Disney keeps adding on. So they have the area, and over time they may add on another area. So I feel like, okay, they have phase two, but I wouldn't be surprised if over time I hear that they're doing phase three. They're going to add something else onto it, and just it becomes just this big, massive area on Celebration Key for them. And so and I don't know if you know that for Half Moon Cave, for example, they're going to, right now we have to tender, right? If I'm not mistaken. So they're gonna make it where you can actually have a port and just walk right off. And it was so good to be able to do that, right? To be able to, because how many times have you supposed to go somewhere, and then because the water was rocky, you couldn't get off the ship, right? How many times? I mean, have that ever happened to you? You were supposed to get off the ship. It was a tender port, and because it was a tender port, the water was rocky, and then you heard an announcement saying that you couldn't get off the ship because of the fact that the waters was too troubled, and the captain did not feel like it was appropriate to let anybody off the ship. And so to be able to have that, I mean, I literally walked right off the ship and just walked and was able to, I felt like it was less than 10 minutes, and boom, I was right there in the big sign of Celebration Key. And so I thought it was great to be able to have to do that without having to do all that other stuff of tendering. And then Half Moon Cave, the reason why Half Moon Cave is madness trying to go back on the ship. Let's be honest. Half Moon Cave, when you're trying to get back onto the ship and you're waiting for the tender, that line can be long, and some of the area is not covered, right? It's so long that it gets to the point where you're outside in the elements, so it could be raining or whatever, or just hot, and you're trying to get on the line that swiggles to get back on the ship. And so therefore now I don't have to deal with that. I just walk to the ship, just get back on the ship like regular, like anything else. I don't have to worry about the line. And then I felt like every time I was in Half Moon Cay, I always felt like because of the tender, and the tender would be like, okay, they would leave at a certain they would the last tender would be this time of the day. And I felt like because of that, I have to make sure that I would leave a certain time because I want to get on the line because I know the line would be long and all of this stuff. And so to be able to, that is such a key moment to me. People don't talk about that enough, but I have been to Half Moon Cay enough that I was like, let me get on this line, and I'd probably leave earlier than I'd want to. But the fact that Celebration Key had these trams, they come very often, and the only reason I left, so like on the board time was 4:30. The only reason I left at 3 or 3 ish was because I wanted to do a little bit of shopping, and then I was getting hot anyway, and it was out there. I was out there literally from the time the ship got, just kind of vlogging and be enjoying myself. And then I like, around 3 o'clock, I said, okay, let me take the tram, let me go do a little bit of shopping, and then just kind of make my way back to the ship. But not having to deal with that was so good to me. Boat Bar and Fun Squad. The Boat Bar, yes, that's what it is. So the Boat Bar and the Fun Squad was right there, right? And so I remember that. I haven't been to Half Moon Cay in a little bit, but I remember they were right there. The DJ, they would set up the DJ and everything, and they would have some beach games. And so I thought that was good. But obviously, you could be far from there because I remember it being a little walk, right, Keisha? It wasn't like, okay, you get off the tender and you went left and it was right there. I remember having to walk a little bit to get to that area. And so, but it's there if you want it. It was amazing, Keisha. Bees, yes, bees. Oops, Maxie, I forgot about the bees. And so yeah, they were there. They were. I mean, but I kind of was trying to swat them away, and then sometimes they would go away. It wasn't like I was being attacked, but it was enough that if I was really conscious about bees and really insecure and really like afraid of getting stung, then some people say, okay, well maybe it's something sweet that you're drinking. But even if I didn't have anything that I was drinking, something sweet or whatever, they were still coming around. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was the colors because in Pearl Cove I think it was like pink and white. I had a red. I don't know. So if they can kind of deal something with the bees, I think that would be really good. And they know about it because John Held said that he would try to do something. No, Orlando, Florida had my Rare Syndrome conference, then had a meet up with some YouTubers like Sea Legs, Elisa. Oh, nice. Cruise Life TV, Uncle Dave, The Destination Fun, Captain Billy Travels. Oh, wow. That's really good. I'm telling you, it's so great. It's, we talk and we have these lives and we engage with each other, but it's so good when you kind of finally get to see them. And so if I don't know who's coming on that cruise in February 2027, but that kind of unhinged group cruise, looks like it's going to be so many people there. I don't know how they're going to do it. I think we're gonna probably do name tags, unless everybody's gonna have their shirts with their YouTube name on it or something, just to kind of identify. I think name tags would be good because maybe everybody doesn't know each other's name. They maybe just all know each other by their YouTube channel name, and so I'm kind of looking forward to that. I am kind of looking forward to that. And so, what was the GTT had some picks, and Ryan and Mel offer a few more. Okay, so Half Moon Cave reporting is the devil. Exactly. And so it's ridiculous. I've always for Half Moon Cave, it's like, okay, let me make my way back. I know the line is gonna be long. It's not even so much about hot, but think about it. Like, for example, Half Moon Cave, the where I hanged out last time, I went off the ship and I went to the right, and it was like and they had all these clamshells, and I just stayed there, not too far from the tender port. And so I went there and I stayed there, and I was like, okay, after a certain time, I was like, okay, I stayed here long enough, and I was like, let me make my way back because I know how the lines are and they're ridiculous. And so it took me, I don't know how long, but it took me a while. I was at the end of the line. I guess everybody had more or less the same kind of idea. And I was at the end of the line, and it took a while. And then, you go in there and then you have to, like, before you get on the tender, you have to, um, go through the machines and metal detectors. It's just a hassle. It really is a hassle to me, when it comes to Half Moon Cay. Yep, there's some pictures coming that Chet will share either Wednesday or Friday. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you was able to meet up with everybody. I'm so glad you was able to meet up with us. So anybody has any questions? It's almost my time is almost up, so I just want to give it to questions. So anybody has questions? Is anybody doing a cruise that's going to go to Celebration Key anytime soon? Are you interested in going to Celebration Key? Even if it's do like a 3 day cruise, I think at Carnival. You will have no issues getting a cruise to Celebration Key. You may have issues trying to do something to Nassau now with a short cruise because I remember there was a travel agent I was looking in a forum and they were saying that they were trying to get a client to go to Nassau and they was having issues on Carnival going to Nassau. And so with that, they're going to try to get you to go to their island. So I wouldn't be surprised. You may have itineraries that, even maybe longer itineraries that maybe Nassau is not included at all. It may be Celebration Key. They're trying to revamp Half Moon Cay and call it relax away or something of that nature. And so therefore, so just get used if you're doing Carnival. But I think at the end of the day, maybe people are getting tired of Nassau anyway. Like, is anybody tired of Nassau, or do you love getting off at Nassau? I know they revamped it. I don't know if everybody got to see how it's revamped, but are you tired of Nassau? Kind of felt like you're Nassau'd out in terms of like going there, and I will go. I hardly if I get off at Nassau, I'm literally getting off at Nassau. Maybe getting some conch shells. The last time I went there, I did something I never did before. So I did Nassau by sea. And so I vlogged it. And so it was kind of a different experience. And so because of that, I said, okay, I usually do it by land. Let me see how it is by sea. And so then you get to view Nassau from a different vantage point. And I thought this would be nice to do, to view Nassau from a different vantage point. But the next, if I ever go back there, would I do it again? Would I do another excursion? Would I do, because I've done things that involve food. I believe I've done things that involve beach. I've done, so I've done so many things going there. So I think that if I go there, literally, there's Linda's Place that is right by the port. I'll get my comforters. I'll get my Bahamian, I think they call it juice or soda. It's almost like pineapple. I don't know if they call it Bahamian juice, but it's almost like pineapple soda. It's delicious, and that's it. And I will go back on my ship. The next time I'm going to Nassau, I believe, is in December on Royal, and I think that's all I'm gonna do. I'm just literally gonna get off the ship, and so I don't have to rush to get off the ship. Get off the ship, get my comforters, get my thing, just enjoy the port for a little bit, maybe do a little bit of shopping, and then head back on the ship. I'm not staying there long at all. And so, is anybody kind of tired of Nassau? Are y'all rather these destinations where you can just have a beach day, relax, and just be chilling? So let me know. Maybe that's something I should do and visiting Celebration Keisha, but no plans yet. Okay, no plans yet. So I mean, look about. So the one thing about it, I feel Keisha, if you can, especially if you could just room with somebody, do like a 3 day cruise, maybe an older ship. Hopefully, I know this was a kind of inaugural season, so I think I definitely paid more money than I should have for this because I was by myself as well. But if you share a room with somebody interior, you could do a 3 day cruise and just kind of just chill and check it out for yourself. I think that would be good. But no plans yet. I feel prepared for my visit with your sharing and videos and everyone else's content. Oh, that's great. That's what I wanted everybody to do. So you don't go there with got go there not knowing. I don't want you to go there like, oh, I didn't know it was like this, or I didn't hear about this. I want you to go there knowing how it is, so that you don't go there and be disappointed. You kind of know, like, okay, I know what to expect. Oh, thank you, Keisha. I saw the revamp last year and was like, wow, but I'm tired of it as well. Jonathan, yeah, you're tired of it, right? And so we've been going. My first cruise was on Carnival Victory, which is Carnival Radiance now, since they revamped it. And I went to Nassau. So first time going to Nassau. Um, I think it was the first time I went to Nassau. Did I go there as an all inclusive? I can't remember, but my first cruise experience, one of the ports was Nassau. And that was before obviously the renovations, and so I knew how it was before, and so it was kind of new to see it as is because I've been there since when they were working on it, and then been there after the renovation. So I kind of seen it before, during, and after. And now I'm like, okay, if I don't go there, I'm good. I really am. Like, I don't need to go to Nassau any longer. I've been to Nassau 3 times, not tired of it yet. Okay, okay, so I've been to it more than 3 times. So I'm kind of like, a little weary. We didn't go far from the port and took some pictures. Got you. Not tired of Nassau. Still have to get to the beach. I got lost last time. Ooh, ooh. Okay. So Shay, maybe do an excursion that includes a beach. Maybe do something that includes a beach, and so maybe a excursion that includes a beach with a long duration at the beach. So you don't get lost or what have you. So you can enjoy yourself. Victory is my first car. Oh, really? It'd be so crazy if we was on the same ship. That's how the world works. It would be so crazy if we happened to be on the same ship. Um, the air contacts I got at Junkanoo Beach, that was a one and done for me. Oh my God, the air contacts. The air contacts? Was that the air contacts? Paul, how many cruises have you been on? Oh man. You know what? I'm gonna have to count. Remind me of that question. I'm gonna have to count and get back to you. Um, I think Carnival alone is probably 20. It could be more than that. I have to check. Um, but nothing as much as some other people has been. I'm gonna have to count and get back to you. I mean, definitely you can. I can count. But I just have to see it. It's more than 20. But it won't be all on my channel because I started cruising before I made my channel, and so I wouldn't be able to count it based upon you wouldn't be able to count it based upon just looking at my channel, and so therefore I would have to go to the cruise lines and then go and count it that way. But it'd be nice because a lot of people know their number. I do not know my number. Like I know Rockwell from MH Family Adventures knows her numbers, and I know that I met, as I said, Mick the suit guy from the cruise, and he knew his number, and he was able to say this is gonna be my boom 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 cruise. So I'm gonna learn my number as well. So I'm gonna learn my number. Does everybody know their number though? So you asked me for my number. Do you know your number? How many cruises have you been on? Oh my God, it's almost 7. How many cruises have you been on? Like the beaches were walking distance. The Wigs in walking. How you got lost? It was in walking distance. I don't remember the beach being in walking. Oh, let me see. You are right. You know what? I remember one time I went to Nassau and we walked to the beach. It was maybe 10 minutes walking. It was a small beach. This was the most exciting time I had in Nassau. I walked to the beach, and when I walked to the beach, there was some type of parade going on. And so sometimes one of my things I try to do, but sometimes I forget, is to look and see if there's any festivals or anything like that going on an island, and see if I'm because 2 times that happened to me. I went to Puerto Rico one time, and there was like a festival I didn't know what was going on. Had a blast enjoying the festival, and I flew there personally. And the same thing. I went to Nassau for the first time, and my friend and I, that was first. I went with a friend, and we walked to the beach, and there was like this parade going on, and I was like, "Whoa!" So that's right. You can walk to the beach. I totally forgot. Now, of course, Shay. They say that it's a little bit more dangerous. So I'm not sure about the walking because I've been hearing stuff about Nassau, so I'm not sure how safe it is. So just check and see the safety levels before go. The smoking. Oh, love Nassau then and now. Good. Hey, Legacia. I was talking about you earlier, saying that I met you on Carnival Conquest. Thank you for coming through. I was chilling with Legacia. It was her birthday and everything. It was just great. We saying hi to each other. We saying hi to each other. There she is. Yes. Oh, 6 cruises, Keisha. Okay, who knows their numbers? We're talking about cruise numbers. Who knows their cruise numbers? I'm gonna get it to you. I am going to promise you that I'm gonna get you that number from next week. And we're gonna go back to some content as well. 9. Okay, 9 for Shay. Okay, okay, okay. Let's see. Who knows their numbers? We're saying hi to each other. Let's see. The walking will find no danger if you stay on the main streets. Okay, all right. Because that victory, Carnival Victory, was years ago when I did that. 20 for me. Oh, Legacia has 20 cruises already under her belt. Okay, all right, that's good. I'm gonna get you my number. Three cruises. All right, Jonathan, we got to get you on some more cruises. Hit me up. We got to get you on a few more. We got to get that number up. And anybody else knows the number, I'm gonna get you by that number. So I put out that content. If you have not seen that content, go check out that content on Celebration Key. I did a full tour, and I did Pearl Cove, which is their all-inclusive private area. And this week I am going to try. Amelia says Sweet 16. I'm going to try to put out some content for Carnival Conquest, and then I have to get back to Princess. I hope you're enjoying the Princess. I know that it's not a common place that everybody would like to go to, because when it comes to the Norwegian fjords, it's not a common area. But for me, it was a bucket list for me. For example, like I've been looking at a Iceland and Greenland cruise, and to me, if I could get on that particular cruise, that would be a bucket list because I've wanted to do Greenland, I wanted to do Iceland, and for something to combine to do together, I think would be great. And so, what we got? Oh, oops, four. Okay. I think I've been cheating though. I repeat ships all the time. I don't know if that counts. No, if you repeat the ship, yes, that counts towards your numbers. If you repeat the ship, is another cruise, so that counts towards your numbers. So, and so that's what's been happening with my channel. And so I'm probably just gonna go right back. So that I feel like I don't have anything more on Carnival Celebration, just those two videos, and then I want to put out more stuff. Just kind of like let people know what the vibes are for Carnival. I mean, it's so much misinformation, and I feel like going on Carnival Conquest just let me know that there's so much misinformation. If you don't, to me, if you don't hear your one song, does that really mean that Carnival does not want to do any hip hop any longer? It's just okay. They're not playing that one song, even if it's something that they always do or they've done in the past. People can change up stuff all the time, right? Maybe the DJs get bored. Maybe people get bored hearing the same songs all the time for every 3-day cruise. And so, therefore, so much misinformation, and it's good for me to kind of like, okay, here it is. This is what I experienced. And I may make a video about that. Just maybe make a video about like, is Carnival, I did a short on it. But I did a short on it, but I want to maybe I do a longer video and just kind of say like this is what I experienced on Carnival Conquest, and people's talking about it's changing up or what have you, and they don't want dollars from a certain clientele anymore. So what they do with the loyalty and what they do with the rewards program totally different in terms of their energy, right, Legacia? Don't you feel that? Did you feel like anything you missed anything by being on the cruise ship? Did you feel like they held back? Did you feel like they were trying to cater to like be more mild or what have you? Yes, Amelia. Yes, Amelia, that counts. So if that's double, tell me you've been on 40 cruises. It don't matter because I've been on cruise ships more than once. I been on cruise ships more than once? I think I did Victory more than once. So I did Victory for my first cruise, and then I did repeat it. I don't know if it was the very second cruise, but I enjoyed it so much that I did repeat it. Um, it does not excite me to know the playlist by heart. Exactly, right? And so that's what the DJ was more or less saying. We're gonna change up the playlist, maybe different based upon maybe the cruises. We're gonna change it up more, maybe if they go into DR, they're gonna do more Latin stuff, and so they just mix it up. And so if you go carnival all the time, maybe you're just tired of the music. And I think if you were going to a club, a physical club, and say for example you went to the club more than once, like say once a week, and if the DJ kept on playing the same playlist, not changing the playlist, wouldn't you get bored? Right? Once you get bored, it's like, ah man, that song again. Like you get tired of. I mean, unless something is your favorite song, you could dance to it every time, and you want to hear it every time you're in the club or every time you're somewhere. But if that's not your favorite song, it's like, okay, like all right, yeah, you know. after a while, I'm sure it would get tiresome. Definitely a lot of misinformation. No, I didn't feel I missed anything. Say exactly. To be honest, I don't think I have ever heard a lot of hip hop on any cruise. Okay, so nothing was missed. We still had fun. They still was, and nobody was fighting. Nobody had a fight or stuff like that. They always feel like every Carnival cruise ship is everybody's getting in fights and all that stuff. You're a seasoned cruiser. Yes, there should be a playlist variety across the ships. Exactly. And so I think that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to change up the variety. There have been people that probably complain. Okay, y'all keep saying playing the same playlist. Like change it up a little bit. I was on Conquest and Fairway with my sister, and we had a relaxing time. It didn't matter to us because we were there for the cruising experience, and we had a great time. Exactly. And so some people don't mind. They'll chill and relax and stuff like that just because of its cruising. And some people they feel like, okay, where's the music? Are we missing out on something? And Carnival still is the fun ship to me. Um, I've been on other ships, and I feel like hands down when it comes to Carnival being, I've been on Norwegian. It's just that cruise director getting everybody, like, even if the DJ is right, that cruise director getting up there and getting everybody involved, get in the fun and dancing and whatever. It really makes a difference, and I think that's the reason why Carnival stands out. And then that's why if a cruise director is not energetic, it shows. If a cruise director is kind of like, ah, man, you don't got it, it kind of shows. And so therefore that's the reason why it's so key to have like a really good cruise director. My time is more than up. Thank you for sticking with me, especially with the technical issues. Man, I don't know what's going on. Thank you for staying with me through this entire thing. If you have any questions about Celebration Key now or in the replay or in the comments, just put it there and I will try my best to research it if I don't know it right away, and I will just be able to. Or if you have you're coming up, or just share this video or one of the other videos that I already had. If you know somebody is going to go to Celebration Key, and just share the video of the please share the video of the tour, share the video of Pearl Cove, because maybe that may be an option that they want to have. And so therefore it's good to be able to just share these videos with people who may be looking to do something and maybe not sure, maybe maybe don't know what to do, or it's on the fence. Maybe that will kind of like push them over the fence, right? To see if they would want to do a Celebration Key, whether I sleep through or unpack during the sail away gathering lab. Really? You don't go to the sail away party, Keisha? Great life. Thank you so much, Shay. See y'all in the streets. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Thank you, Keisha. Thank you for coming on. Thank you for all of my subscribers. Thank you for all of my moderators. You have a great vibe and your content is very good. Keep doing what you do. It's best working. What you do best is working. Thank you so much, Amelia. I really appreciate that. And until next time, happy travels. Have a great week, everyone.